I'm GW Pomichter, and thanks for logging on and tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there and keep hanging with authors after artists, after creators, and just keep hanging with us. We want to start off with a quick shout out to our friends at Something Unique Magazine out of Missouri and somethinguniquemag.com. And we send our thanks to them for sharing these creators all over the World Wide Web. Also, Awesomeness TV at awesomenessnetworktv.com. They've been helping us to share these all over the World Wide Web, so thanks to them. We are at the 8th annual O'Galley Art Festival in historic downtown O'Galley in Melbourne, Florida. And we are here with all deference to the Authors for Authors Committee, Dr. Valerie Allen, Holly Fox Valencourt, and Marshall Frank. Thanks, guys, for letting us come in here. We're here in Melbourne, Florida, and we are hanging with writer and creator Sarina Rose, who is the creator of the Relentless Brit, and coming soon, the Relentless Italian. So welcome, and thanks for hanging with us, Sarina. Okay, the Relentless Brit. Okay, tell us a little bit. When did you start writing?
Well, I started writing a few years ago. I took a Creative 101
okay.
writing, and loved it, but haven't done anything with it until I retired and came to Florida.
Outstanding.
So now I live on the beach and write.
That's fantastic.
It's great.
So tell us about the Relentless Brit. What was the inspiration for that book?
The Relentless Brit is a World War II romance novel, fiction. But I thought about my aunt who was married on Pearl Harbor Day.
Okay.
What if she had made a different decision? What if she decided she would go?
The ultimate writer's question, what if?
What if, right. And I just had fun researching and looking up World War II information. This is the time period I was born. Actually, they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima on my birth date, the day I was born.
Wow.
So I'm kind of attached to that time period.
Okay.
So that's where the inspiration came from.
Okay, well, without too many spoilers, what can we expect from the Relentless Brit?
Okay, so Marie, our heroine, is an American.
Okay.
She works for her brother in his law office, which my aunt actually did.
Okay.
And she's also a widow, one of the first widows of World War II in America. And she's looking for a change and looking for adventure, wants to travel. And a friend of hers works at the Brooklyn Navy Yard and puts her in contact with a British spy. And he recruits her to go overseas, to first train and then go overseas as one of the first women spies.
Wow, that's fantastic. So
that's
anybody,
a great story.
Now the rest of the book you have to read yourself, okay?
Exactly.
So, that's right. So buy books. That's what we're here for.
Buy books.
We'll help authors tell the World Wide Web what they are. So let's talk a little bit. You said you took a creative writing class, 101, a few years back. Now, what drew you to that? What really inspired you to decide, I want to think about creative writing?
I have no idea.
You just sort of gravitated to it.
The Holy Spirit inspired me to write a book.
Thank goodness that it did, because we have this book here now, and we're going to have another one soon. When can we look forward to the Relentless Italian?
Next week.
Next week?
It should be out next week.
Wow, fantastic.
It should be on Kindle next week.
That's fantastic. Now, we talked outside a little bit. You're an indie author.
Yes.
And I've been talking with a lot of indie authors lately. Yeah, it's an amazing market that has opened up to us now. Creators have more control than they've ever had before.
I love it.
It's like they gave us the printing press. They just handed it to us and put it in our living room and said, make something happen.
I know.
And so what's your favorite part about being an indie creator?
Well, I like the writing part of it, and I dislike very much the formatting part of actually producing the book. So I hire people to do that.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
And I'm not a detail person, so I miss punctuation, so I hire somebody to do that.
That's great.
Had I known that in college, I would have gotten A's.
I'm telling you. It's great advice for every indie author out there. It is, do the writing, put the story on paper, and then get professionals. Get the help you need.
Right.
Because the market is wide open now, which means there's an industry based on our industry. So we have editors. We have access to editors that are not very high cost. You can get it done pretty good. We have access to cover designers. I'm not an artist, I'm a writer. So get a good cover designer to do your work for you. And then push. Learn how to It's the hardest thing to teach an artist is to be a marketer, to push always.
I'm not a closer.
Thank you.
I can talk to the clients, but I can't.
Get that money from them. That's right. We do that back behind the camera. We have people that are doing that for us for the show. Mm-hmm. This is what I do. I'm a journalist and a writer, and this is what I do. And back behind the camera, they do magic where people pay. And I don't know how that's done exactly, but I don't want to. It just happens like magic.
Good.
It's like Christmas.
Good.
Yeah. So, okay, well, do you have any upcoming projects other than now the Relentless Italian to be out? And what else are you working on?
This is a World War II story, but that is not. That's 1970s. The end of the book is 1970.
Oh, so get your white jackets out and your collars, okay?
It's basically a new adult book. They're in college.
Fantastic.
He falls in love with her, wants to take her back to Italy. She wants to be a veterinarian.
So the Italian love story, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I lived through one of those.
Yes.
So, okay, yeah.
Very nice.
So now as an indie author,
indie
author out here at the cons and the conferences that you've been to, I know you were at IBF, that's where we started out. What is the most unusual or coolest or most fun thing that has happened to you since you became an author?
The most fun thing is really meeting other authors.
Okay.
I love meeting other authors.
It is great.
I love their advice, and I love their books, and I just love hanging out with them. It's like, it gives me a push, a thing.
You found a community.
Right.
It is.
Exactly.
And it really is. I love being a part of this community because other authors that you talk to are always so encouraging.
Yes.
And they want you to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started publishing, the first thing I thought was, man, there's so much competition.
Yes.
For that spot. And when I got involved in the community, I found out that your competition, they want you to succeed. It's an amazing community to be a part of. We're not cutthroat. We want our peers to do well.
But I have to tell you, I developed a very thick skin for critique.
You have to. Well, for every person that loves you...
It's hard to take for some people.
One of the things that I tell myself in the mirror, I stand in front of the mirror and literally tell myself this, and I have friends that are authors now that we've met, and I tell them, and I would tell you, is stand in front of the mirror and remind yourself, for every person that loves your book, there's got to be at least one person out there that despises it. And you are bound to meet that person sooner or later. It's not personal. It's just they don't like it. And but you'll find another guy that does.
Right.
And he'll love it just as much. So keep doing what you do.
Thank you.
And keep it up. And this is amazing. Relentless Brit is already out. Relentless Italian is coming out next week. By the time this video is online, you'll be able to go and get it. Where can we find your work right now? All over.
So the ebook is all over. Kindle, Kobo, Smashwords, Barnes & Noble.
Outstanding. Check out the iBooks. I'm going to put an iBooks link up here in the corner when we do the video. So check out the iBooks link for the Relentless Brit and other works coming out soon from Sarina Rose. And okay, I'm getting the little signals back here. So first of all, before I go, I have to tell you, that is an amazing hat.
You love my hat.
I do. I love your hat. I actually put that on the cue cards. I told them, look, remind me to mention I love the hat.
Well, I bought the hat on eBay, and I was in the store trying to decorate it, and my friend came along and said, I'll do it.
Oh, that's awesome. It is, but it's so much personality, and whatever we can do to stand out, and that is a wonderful hat.
It's vintage romance,
vintage hat. That's right, amazing. So, folks, I'm getting the cue here. We have to go. We have been hanging with Sarina Rose, the author of Relentless Brit, and coming soon, the Relentless Italian. And thank you so much for being with us, Sarina. It's been great. Our shout out again, our special thanks to Something Unique Magazine, somethinguniquemag.com. For more episodes, go on down the list here and check out our YouTube channel, or go in the iTunes store and grab the podcast. And while you're here, look in the description. Head on over to the Hangin With store. That is cafepress.com/Hangin With, and get a t-shirt, get a coffee mug, get some ball caps. Support these independent and new authors, artists, and creators to help us get the word out to the World Wide Web. Thanks again to the Authors for Authors Committee for bringing us into the 8th Annual O'Galley Art Festival. We want to thank Dr. Valerie Allen, Holly Fox Bellacoop, and Marshall Frank for bringing us in here. I'm G.W. Pomichter, if you didn't know that already, and we have been hanging with Sarina Rose, author of The Relentless Brit, and coming soon, The Relentless Italian. So do me a favor, if you go on down there, subscribe, will you? Log on, tune in, and see who we'll be hanging with next. Welcome back, World Wide Web. Welcome to Hangin' With. I'm GW Pomichter, and thanks for logging on and tuning in. If you haven't already done it, go ahead and hit subscribe. Come on back. Look at all these authors, artists, artisans that are on the list. Come on back and watch some more. We want to thank our friends at Something Unique Magazine. That's somethinguniquemag.com. We send our thanks to those friends of ours over there. They've been sharing these videos all over the World Wide Web for us, helping us push these authors out to the world. And there's some great people there. Awesomeness TV, AwesomenessNetworkTV.com is a website devoted to sharing YouTubers' videos all over the web.
Terrific.
And helping these kinds of shows get to people on the web. So we love them over there. Florida Book News. Right here, we made some new friends with Lou Belcher here, and they're going to share these videos with everybody. So we've really got a chance to tell some people about our authors here.
Excellent.
We're at the 8th Annual O'Galley Art Festival. Man, they're wrapping up here. They're shutting down. We're still interviewing artists and authors. It's fantastic. Thank you very much to Authors for Authors Committee, Dr. Valerie Allen, Holly Fox Bellencoop, and Marshall Frank for letting us come in here and letting us stay a little bit after hours because we've got so many authors and artists to interview. We are here right now and we are hanging with Richard Rosen, the author of Life After Death, a step-by-step account of what comes next. And I think all of us want to know what comes next. I really think that's kind of the question of an era. Is really, what does come. We are energy. We are beings of energy, and we want to know where that goes. So this is a great topic. Richard, thanks for hanging with us. First of all, it's great to have you here. How was the weekend? How was the?
Oh, it was wonderful meeting other authors and sharing ideas, and just the public coming along. And what you said is so true. They are interested in what comes next and what is the purpose of this life. And from the I wrote this book because all my life, from a youth, I always wondered, and I spent the whole lifetime learning about it, teaching about it, and writing about it.
Wow.
So I thought I'd put this all together in one little book about the step-by-step. It's not a near-death experience now. It's different. This is an actually detailed account of what's going to happen to everyone that lives.
What you think? This is. Where did this come from? What really inspired? How do you get? First of all, it's what comes next. So
Correct.
We haven't been there yet, and so that's a deep subject to dive into, and it's a subject that every culture, I think, in human history has struggled to try to come to terms with. So what inspires you to take that task on and make it concise? This is a very concise little book.
Yeah.
So what inspired? How did you do that? Tell us a little bit about your process.
Okay. Well, as I said, I've been a student of what is beyond this material world, and part of that is how to live now to optimize what comes next.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like a simple premise, but it's so specific and personal to every person that reads it. How did you deal with that? How did you make it personal?
Well, okay. What I did is I have an unusual genre here, which I didn't realize until someone asked me this question: is it fiction or nonfiction? And the reason why is I have 4 characters at the beginning, which entails how they lived their life and how it affected what their entry into the next life was.
Okay.
People sometimes will think that there's a banana peel entry that automatically you're miraculously changed after this life. You enter the next life with every positive attribute and value you've acquired here and every deficiency as well.
Wow, that's a great. That's a great starting point.
Yeah.
For answering the question of what comes next. Mm-hmm. And again, it's a difficult question to tackle, but you've done it, and you've done it well and concisely here. So, we've been asking all of our authors what are some of the most unique experiences, what some of the rewards of getting your work out there to the readers, and what is that for you?
Yeah. Well, a number of people who have had people close to them die have been so thrilled to know what's going to happen. For example, parents with children die before they do, which is a terrible experience.
It's a hard thing.
They are brought up in probation nurseries, as they're called, and when the parents actually die, that's when the children are also resurrected, and they visit one another. The reunions are so touching.
Wow. So now, do you have any ongoing projects that you're working on right now, or is this kind of?
Well, I have a companion. It's a good question. I have a companion book.
Okay.
Living Spiritually in a Practical World. Okay. How to attune yourself to divine guidance. The reason I say it's a companion book is because this here basically gives you ideas of what you've got to do now to optimize your entry, so it's not so difficult in correcting these deficiencies. Living Spiritually in a Practical World, that actually gives you the nuts and bolts. It's almost a memoir in a way of my spiritual journey, which how did this come about? Okay. Well, I made that connection with the divine presence in my life strong enough so there's a lot of revelation involved and a lot of sources.
So you get right into the nitty-gritty of how to make that connection for yourself.
Exactly.
That's an amazing thing. Now, where can we find Life After Death? Is it online? Is it Amazon and other places?
Amazon. It's available in the print edition, as you see, or also the Kindle or digital edition.
If you don't have a Kindle or whatever, you got an iOS device, make sure you download the Kindle app so you can grab the Life After Death, and coming soon the companion book, which do you have a title?
No, I have.
It's already there.
It's already there.
Okay, what is that?
Yeah. Living spiritually in a practical world.
Living spiritually in a practical world. We've got to wrap things up here, folks. But we've been hanging today with some great authors. Right now we're hanging with Richard Rosen, the author of Life After Death and Living Spiritually in a Practical World. Find those online, look them up, and just find some inspiration in your life and how to make that connection. And thank you very much to Something Unique Magazine, who's sharing these all over the World Wide Web. For more episodes, check back here on our YouTube channel. Go on over to iTunes, get the podcast. Maybe take a few minutes, go on over to the Hangin' With store, grab a t-shirt, coffee cup, whatever you need. That's at cafepress.com/hanginwith. Show some support for the show so we can keep supporting these authors. I am G.W. Pomichter, and we've been hanging with Richard Rosen, the author of Life After Death. Remember to subscribe, log in, tune in, see who we're hanging with next.